What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm the most active on Instagram. Here's how you can do that. And let's just get into today's video because I know y'all saw the thumbnail and I'm actually really excited to talk about this. Now, why am I giggling? I've done exactly 2 videos on Lifewave. I will put them in the video description as well so you can check them out. The first one is a live stream that I did with Katie. And the second one was me reacting to the emails from YouTube on a copyright claim that somebody named Kimberly, who is in Lifewave, reported to YouTube. And Kimberly was upset that I was covering a video that was sent to me in some way, shape, or form. She was also upset that I wasn't covering more people in Lifewave, and I was just focusing on her. So Kimberly, this one's for you. So this is Connie. Many of you probably know her from Monat. She's also in Olive Tree People, and she's also in Lifewave. Oh man, I have included some sources below, one of which we are going to talk about. I can't remember his name, but I'll look it up. He is a stem cell biologist who reviewed these Lifewave patches that allegedly reflect light and activate the stem cells within your body, essentially. That's what they're saying. And they're also saying that there is 0 chemicals. There's no chemicals in this. Everything is a chemical. Everything is a chemical. Anyways, this is Connie claiming that she is going to build this thing, quote unquote, off of social media while going live on social media. So shout out to my bestie, Julie Joe. Y'all know her. We had a conversation the other day and she was like, Erin, you have to blind react to this. You have to, you must do it. And I was like, okay. Originally I was going to do it on a live stream, but I decided I'm going to actually film this and we're going to have a good time here. So let's watch it together. As always, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And just to be super clear, don't join Lifewave. Don't join an MLM. Okay? All right. I just want to be real clear about that. Let's see what Connie and her husband, who apparently is a pastor, let's see what they have to say.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Happy Friday. It's been about probably 2 years since we've done a
When
live.
was the last time? I can't even remember the last time we did a live.
A very long time. Scoot in, honey.
I'm scooted.
Okay. Hi, happy Friday. Okay, so we're going to just jump in and make this short and hopefully make this short and sweet. I've had a cold, so I'm recovering from a cold, so hopefully I can get through this without having to go blow my nose. But we're just excited. We've had a long, I would say, year of just processing lots of things. For me, most of you know that maybe some of you don't know, I'll just briefly tell you that I've been just sitting with the Lord for a very long time. And if you know my personality, sitting is not something that I like to do. I'm not the sitting type. I like to go. I like to be moving. I'm just a goer and a doer, and I love to be with the people and all the things, but it's been a season for me of sitting.
That's been hard.
It's been hard for me.
For her.
Some people, that's like their dream, is just to sit and do nothing, and that's like their dream. It's not for me. So it's been good though. I have grown.
Are we talking about somebody's spiritual growth, or are we talking about somebody in a multi-level marketing company, a product-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion, she's trying to recruit somebody into that? Because I find it really odd that she is like, well, listen, I am getting over a cold, which by the way, Connie, hope you feel better. And I've been sitting with the Lord, and this feels very much like spiritual manipulation. And the reason that I'm saying that is because she's tying this in to Lifewave. She's trying to imply here that the Lord brought her to Lifewave because she sat and listened. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. There's a reason that Jesus allegedly, let's just say allegedly, flipped tables in the temple. All of my people that are Christians, feel free to sound off below in the comments. But do y'all think that somebody that is a Christian that believes in God is going to say, oh, the Lord brought me to something that actually harms other people for all of the reasons that I've covered on my channel? Do you think that the Lord would be like, hey, this is a good opportunity. You know, Connie and your husband that's a pastor, sounds good, right? No.
More spiritually in this past year than I ever have in my entire life. It has come with its own wave of, again, hardness. And you guys, I've just had time to sit and listen without trying to make anything up out of my own efforts. And it's been absolutely beautiful. And that's where I've been for really the past almost year now. And this past month,
that led to a big decision.
It did lead to a big decision. This past month, I just woke up, and there's a lot more to the story we'll eventually tell, but we'll move through this quickly. I woke up and told Phil, I said, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to move on. And I didn't know what that would look like. And
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Time to move on to what?
So, like, what does that really mean? And I just felt a stirring to get back my creativeness in different ways. Most of you know I do a podcast, and I've leaned into that, and that's flourishing and so much fun. And I'm going to continue to do that. And you'll see a lot more of that here.
I don't know what she covers on her podcast. However, if she is wanting to get back into creating something and she's finding joy in her podcast, why can't that be enough? Oh, no. We got to jump right into 2 other MLMs, because the podcast and being creative is not enough. Is the podcast not monetized? Is it not making her enough money? Is that why she's jumping into these? I don't know. But if you're going to say, I'm wanting to create things, and then you're trying to imply that joining a multi-level marketing company is you creating things, that's a lie. That's not accurate.
But I also felt just the desire to get back and create and lead and do the things that I know that I'm good at and bring me.
And lead, there it is. Because Connie knows from being in Monat, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to call it a product-based pyramid scheme that clearly is sinking. That's what I'm going to call it. You guys can call it what you want. She knows in order to be successful in these things, you have to recruit, you have to have a team. So is it really about being creative, or is it about signing up as many people as you can so that you make the most money at the top of the pyramid, Connie? I'm just asking for my friends here.
Joy. However, on a completely different level. And in this particular season, my girls and our family is first in every single way. And I am not in the let me grind it out, build a ton, and right now. That could change as things come, but I have had, again, to sit with this and really process that it's okay to take things one day at a time. And that's really what I've been given over the past couple of weeks, learning about these 2 new opportunities that I'm going to share with you that I am stepping into. And that doesn't normally make sense, you guys. It normally makes sense to pick one thing and go all in, and that's what you do because that's what's going to make the most sense, right? But
does it make the most sense? Or is that the way that uplines have manipulated their downlines in the past to say, listen, you can only be in one? In fact, a lot of these MLM companies in their policies and procedures, once you hit a certain rank, you are not allowed to promote multiple companies. So I find that really interesting. Is this a deep dive on Olive Tree people and Lifewave's policies and procedures? No. But I find it interesting that she's like, I'm going to do both of these things. And she's, in my opinion, basically admitting that, oh, no, we've been taught to only be a part of one thing. Because, one product-based pyramid scheme is not enough. You got to add 2.
But for us, that's not the piece that we've had. The piece is let's just step into these things. We're going to see where they organically go. I'm not going to have to strive for anything. And, I guess I'll just say that we've been around the block. I shared that in my stories, you guys. We're not the new kids on the block. We're not
the Monet block. What do they call it in Monet where you get 4 people and they call it is it a neighborhood? What do they call it? I can't remember, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Not the youngest chicks on the block. I've had lots of success. I've had lots of failure. I'm not in a season where I need to prove anything. I'm not in a season where I need to gain any titles. I'm not in a season where I need to become a millionaire. But I know that I can still be fruitful and do creative, fun things and just see where that goes. And that's where I'm at, you guys, and that's okay. So the past week, we had some opportunities that we kind of dug into. And like I said, we're rolling with both.
Was it the past week or the past few weeks or the last month? Because it seems like the story's kind of changing here as you move through this. First, it was the last month. and then the last couple weeks now in the last week. So which is it?
We have not shared one thing on social media yet, and both of them have literally blown my mind.
You have not shared one thing on social media yet, and here you are on social media. Ma'am?
Blown my mind. And so why don't we share about the first one, babe? Because that's going to be your excitement.
And I'm so excited to see you excited and you passionate. And for those of you that have been following our journey for a long time, you know that we're pastors and leaders first, and that's always a priority, is our ministry and what we do to serve people. And so whenever we're looking at how we want to use our lives to give God glory and to help others and to lead others.
Giving God glory through a multi-level marketing company as a pastor, this is already giving. Listen, I'm a pastor, you can trust me. And I'm not saying that there's not pastors out there that you can trust. But if you have a pastor that is in a multi-level marketing company, Pastor Todd, I'm talking to you, unethical, don't like it. We'll be featuring you more on my channel. Let's add this guy into the mix. Phil, you're a pastor and you're trying to basically say, trust me, bro, I'm a pastor. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. But we're going to talk about it here, you know?
We're always looking at what aligns with that and what helps us to continue to fulfill, that great purpose that we have, that we love. Like, we love ministry, and that's what we're always going to be called to, and that's always going to be the priority for us. And so this is not a live saying we're changing that. We're still committed to that. We love it. We love the church we're serving at, and it's amazing. And it's funny because the opportunities that came up, I shared with Connie. I said I've always supported her and her journey and the businesses that she's promoted and that she's ran with. But I always felt like it was so hard for me to talk about with the guys, like what their skincare routine is or what their hair care routine is like. And as we turned 40 this year, I was joking with Connie that the majority of my conversations, they're always spiritually led, and I'm always asking people how they're developing spiritually, and that's because that's my passion and helping people grow in that way. But then, as conversations develop and move on, we talk a lot about like our aches and pains and things that we're experiencing. And like, I've got this hip flexor injury of getting into a rental car last year. And I'm like talking about how I've tried to recover that and going to the chiropractor and doing all of these things. And I said, it's funny as you get older, how the conversations start to go around your health and how you're optimizing your health and how you're trying to get energy back. And my journey for the last 2 years with a naturopath has been that.
I'm already seeing red flags, but the thing that concerns me the most is that Phil here is saying these conversations always start with your spiritual journey, or however he worded that. So these conversations are started by talking about spirituality and their spiritual growth, and then it leads into aches and pains. That is so unethical, because what he's trying to do here, in my opinion, is he's trying to say, oh yeah, these aches and pains, and put this patch from Lifewave on your skin, and it's going to take away all of your aches and pains. By the way, all of you Lifewave people, before you start commenting on this video and say, well, you should try it, I don't need to try it to know that it's a multi-level marketing company that has an unethical business plan, in my opinion. So don't come with that and say, you should try it. No. There's many things out there that I know are not good for me, that are not healthy, that are, dare I say, dangerous, that I don't have to try in order to say, oh, these things are dangerous or this is unethical. I don't need to try it in order to have an opinion on how I feel about it. So don't come at me with that, because your testimonial on the product is not scientific evidence.
To get energy back, my cholesterol, my testosterone, all of that. So I'm always looking at ways to optimize my health and, to be strong. And I told Connie this last year, at church, I used to be able to do the setup, do the speaking, do the teardown, and then go and teach a 4-hour class and then come home and be with the family, with the kids. And I just noticed over the last 2 years, I haven't been able to do that.
It ain't happening. We need lots of naps. We need lots of naps.
So
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with changes in your life and your abilities. That's a part of aging to a certain extent. See, but they're sharing all of this because they're getting ready to imply that putting these Lifewave patches on is going to change all of this. He's all of a sudden going to be superhuman, have no pain in his life. Stop it.
I've been optimizing my health in so many ways, exercising, eating right, dairy, gluten-free, all the things, meeting with a naturopath. And
it always fascinates me when people say, dairy-free, gluten-free. The only people that really need to worry about that are the people with allergies to dairy and gluten. So now we're going down the path of a naturopath, and it's just red flags. I'm seeing some red flags.
And I've been sharing that journey with close friends of what I've been doing and how I've been optimizing that. And it's in no way promoting a business or an opportunity or those things, but just sharing, my journey. And I'm super passionate about that because I've seen the change and I've seen the development going into my 40s. And so
time out here. See, now what's interesting is we've gone from spiritual journey to bettering their health, and they're going to eventually talk or imply that they're talking about Lifewave. They're going to show the packaging. The reason that these things are being said is because they are using spirituality to draw people in, like it's a part of their brand, in my opinion. Now they're starting to talk about their health and the things that are different since they've turned 40, by the way, 44 here. Shout out to all my Gen Xers. And then they're going to try to make these health claims that this patch is going to change everything. And you guys can see it all unfolding, right? Let me know in the comments if you do, but I hate it. Not a fan.
So the opportunity that came up was, about energy and about focus and about being able to optimize health and, some things that athletes were doing and some things that were helping others on that similar journey. And so that excited me because it's something that I naturally talk about, that I could, talk about that's supporting Connie and conversations that we're having. And so that excited me. And that was something that was really cool.
And I think you guys, for me, I have an autoimmune disease. I've been around the gamut with health and wellness, like most of
Here we go. Here we go with the health claims.
I know probably a lot more than the average person because I've had an autoimmune disease for 15 years. My daughter was recently diagnosed with one this year as well. And so I do probably above and beyond what the average person would do. And so when this was brought to me, I thought,
Connie, you are not that special. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that to be a total jerk about this, but I do more than anybody else suffering with chronic pain. Do you hear yourself? Are you kidding? As if to imply that people that are suffering with chronic pain don't do or research or try to find solutions for them to manage symptoms to get through their day. Oh, you do more than the average. Oh, okay, Connie.
This is right up my alley. But even with that, I'm like, okay, tell me about this patch, what do you mean this is a patch? Oh gosh.
That's Lifewave. I can't.
I'm gonna wear it, here we go. And I'm the one that loves health and wellness, and I'm already thinking okay, this patch is really, but I do what most people won't do, which is ask questions.
You are asking questions? Really? Because if you were critically thinking, in my opinion, and looking at the science that these people provide, if you ask them for it, I don't think you would be here. This is wild. Again, check out the video resources because I have a bunch of information down there about Lifewave, again, from the stem cell biologist who was like, this is not going to do anything, who had to turn the comments off on his blog. Wild. See, and that's the same thing that many of these people in Lifewave have done. I could do an entire video on reading hate comments or ad hominem comments from these people in Lifewave. There is a reason that I have had to go in and approve the Lifewave live stream that Katie and I did, the comments, because all they would do was come with ad hominem attacks. That's it. They were talking about my looks, my level of intelligence, all kinds of stuff. And maybe I will do a video on that, but not today. Don't do it. Lifewave people, I know you're going to have some big feelings by me talking about this. You're going to have some very big feelings. Some of you are probably going to be, wait, what she's saying, sounds like it makes sense. But then, I've been taught by my upline that, this is the end all be all. That's called cognitive dissonance, where you're trying to make sense of two different things happening in your brain. Happens to a lot of people that are in multi-level marketing. So before you hit enter, before you type that comment furiously, attacking my looks, attacking my character or whatever, think about that for a second. Just pause, reflect. Do I really want to comment this? Because I will highlight those comments. So don't do it. Let's get back to Connie and Phil here.
I get the real answers. I ask the questions. I look into it and I was fired up. I mean, you guys, this is just so simple that it's too simple to not try. It's so insanely ridiculous. Look at my girls, by the way. They're all excited. They're having their patches, and I'll tell you a little bit about what they are. Rosalind decorated her patch. Evie decorated hers. We're already all wearing them. I'll show you what they look like. They're about this big, okay? They're waterproof. You stick them on your body. Why would you not try that? They have no chemicals in them. They are literally scientifically proven. They're patented. Nobody can even touch this for the next 20 years. They're made by a biochemist right here in the good old place of San Diego, who is very renowned in his industry. He has over 150 patents, you guys. This guy is next level, okay? This is not just some average entrepreneur trying to start some network marketing thing to get rich. He started out.
Or is it? Because if the science were sciencing, there would be legitimate studies out there, not things that, hey, maybe we need to look into this further. There would be actual scientific studies, legitimate scientific studies, not funded by Lifewave. I can't with all of these claims and the fact that they are putting this product on their children when they don't really even know what it does, because the scientific data does not back up that they even do anything. And I love that she said, this is not just some guy that wanted to make a network marketing company and get rich, because in my opinion, I think that's exactly what he's doing. And also I talked about this with Prove It, and how some of these Prove It reps will say, oh, well, there's over 200 patents on these products. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But imagine if these companies, instead of, patenting all these things, imagine if they actually spent money on legitimate studies, not, clinical studies with small groups of people. No, if they actually did it legit. And also, if it even were that legit, do you think it would be rolled out as a multi-level marketing company? No. The pharmaceutical companies would be like, hey, we've got something here. Let's sell this. It wouldn't come through a multi-level marketing company.
Actually with the Navy SEALs and developing a product for them to stay awake in their one-man submarines because they were falling asleep. And so the guy's been around forever, you guys. The company's been around for 20 years. It's AAA rated.
Are there any Navy SEALs in the chat? Because if there are, do y'all know anything about that? I'm just kind of curious.
It's actually the #1 place to work from DSN, work from home.
The #1 place to work from the direct sales network, the DSN, direct sales network? The DSN? Right, Connie. Right, okay.
It's phenomenal. That's hands down, go find your own stuff. But what's also very cool.
Why do people have to go find their own stuff? If you're on here on a live and you're trying to sell this product and trying to recruit people, and it were as fantastic as you're saying it is, why wouldn't you lead with that? Why wouldn't you provide that and say, this is a study, go over the study, provide the link for everybody? No, you're encouraging people to go and do their own research. And when they do their own research, they're going to find my videos on Lifewave. Yeah, that's going to happen. I've seen it time and time again. So if they were that fantastic, you would provide all of that information and all of that quote unquote data for people to see and go through in one place. But they don't do that. They tell people, do your own research, ask questions. But then when you ask questions, they're like, oh no, listen, it's not for everybody. But then they try to recruit everybody. So anyways.
Is the clinical studies, double-blind, peer-reviewed clinical studies, over 80 of them, which are all published. You can look if you want to get that brainiac. But for most people, we know that's enough. That's enough. What do you mean that? What does it do? It uses phototherapy. There is not a single chemical in it. This is not a pill you're swallowing that has to bypass your digestive tract, which is probably messed up, meaning you're not absorbing anything you take, right?
You can't say that, Connie, because you don't know what other people are experiencing with their digestive system. And the reason that you're bringing this up right now, I feel like, is because you're trying to use fear mongering. You're trying to downplay or villainize, if you will, these other companies that are talking about gut health and all of that stuff. Is it a dig at your former company? Maybe.
You put this on, it uses your body's natural emission of light, you guys, to actually generate and stimulate dormant stem cells, okay? And all that to be said, I don't want to get too crazy. You guys can DM me for all the info. Just put patch in my DMs. I'll send you everything you need.
Or just provide it in the video description, in the comments, so people can easily find it. Unless you're trying to control the information, do people have to DM you to find the information? Hot take, if you will. Provide the information for people like I have in the video description.
No. All that to be said, you guys, when you can tap into your systemic, your biochemistry in your own body, God made us so wonderful. God made our bodies so wonderful to the ways they can heal, right? Things start changing. So you'll see in these clinical studies how this is not anti-aging. They're actually calling it age reversing.
What is wrong with aging? What is wrong with getting older? Our society is so hell-bent on reversing aging, and I think aging is a beautiful thing. This is... Also, if God made your body so perfect, why do things change? Just a question I have. And if God made your body so perfect, then why do you need these patches? If your body has the ability to heal itself. See, this is an example of asking questions and critically thinking that Connie here says that she was doing.
And that's pretty cool, you guys. My dad was joking. He's an avid pickleball player. He's like, I am literally going to use these, and before you know it, Phil, I'm going to be looking younger than you. People are going to think you're my dad. He's like all pumped and all excited, you guys, because of by the age 60, all of your stem cells are dormant. All of them.
What is your source on that? See, again, this would be really interesting. I'm going to say interesting because I'm trying to be kind here. This would be interesting if you actually provided a source, but I feel like you're just repeating what your upline has told you. You're like, oh my God, that is a good fact. I'm going to remember that so I can say that on my next live or in my stories. 60% of your stem cells are dormant, or whatever she said. Imagine if she had actually had a source on that instead of just what I feel like she's just repeating what her upline has told her.
By the age 30, half of your stem cells are completely dormant. That's pretty scary, okay? Especially for us who are over 30. And so when you can get that regenerated again, the body can start to heal faster, and it can actually age slower, and it starts to, you'll have to see the clinical studies on what this has done to, again, the brain, the overall health, you guys, cognitive function, energy. I can't even tell you all the things. There's pages and pages from doctors and doctors who are just on board with this and loving it. And our own friends,
Okay, your own friends' testimonials are not scientific evidence, number one. And number two, what kind of doctors? Are they stem cell biologists? What kind of doctors? Because what I know is that a lot of these people in multi-level marketing that have doctors that are on their medical boards for these companies, I was going to say something else. I decided to keep that in. Are they qualified to do any of this? Because a lot of them are not, in my opinion. And if you look into some of their history, I'm not talking about these two. I'm talking about when we looked into, let me be specific. When we looked into Q Sciences, one of the former members of the medical board, he had a very sketchy, and I'm going to say dangerous, in my opinion, past. So if you see this stuff and you hear people saying, listen, this was studied by doctors and we have doctors on our medical board, what kind of doctors? What kind of doctors are they? That's very important.
friends told us about this, you guys, and used this patch a year ago and they loved it, and just, there's too many stories. So it's funny how just the conversations we've had in the past few days.
I know what you're told in multi-level marketing, that stories sell and facts tell, according to Eric Worre. But when you are talking about science, it's scientific data and evidence. Stories are not scientific data. I think that's the best way that I want to say that. So
people are immediately like, of course I'm going to try that. It's the only one of its kind. There's not a single, right now, by the way, in the biochemistry world, they're trying to make patches that have stem cells in them. And we know what that comes with, right? The actual risk of getting stem cell injections. This is using your body's own You can't get any better, you guys, especially for you who know about acupressure, acupuncture, same kind of thought process with these, okay? So anyways, I'm fired up. Phil's fired up because he has something he can share. He's going to run with this. He's going to run with this and really take this, and he already has been. He's been sharing with people, talking to people. We've only got this going in the past couple days. We had to do our own, again, sitting. We're not sold on hype. Let me tell you right now. I've been here, I've done this for 7 years, and I come from corporate world, and I'm a hypey person. I can get real hyped. But that is not going to be it for me in this season, right? I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to go, okay, what about this? What about that? And anyways, I'll share that in a second, but go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that this video that Connie and her husband Phil have done is hype? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you guys think, because the claims that they're making, the spiritual manipulation, in my opinion, I would classify that as being hype. They are trying to make it seem like this is something that's going to help people with chronic pain. They're making it seem like this is something that's going to reverse aging, which is not a thing in my opinion, but there are plenty of you that are way smarter than me when it comes to this type of science that can share in the comments if you feel comfortable. But to me, this video that she did with Phil here is nothing but hype. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
With what you wanted to say, and I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, just a quick 1 to 2 minute thing. For me, it was like, when I was talking about this with Connie, it's like, I don't want to sell it on my social media. I don't want to have to be on social media every day. Like, I just want to have conversations and share my journey with people like I have been with my natural journey that I've been on, and just sharing that with people and sharing information and also learning as well. And so I think that's what I loved about it, especially with guys. It's like, I don't want to get on and have to think about a post or think about a social media strategy or even using my social media to promote that and do that.
And yet, here we are on a live on a social media platform. What? Do they hear themselves?
Because I'm rarely on social media as is. I love that it's more community and just the people
everyone can use this.
Yeah, the people that I'm around. And
didn't they say the same thing about Monet or Monat or however you pronounce it? Didn't she say the same thing about community in her previous multi-level marketing company? Because I bet she did. I bet you could go back on her social media platform, whichever one we're talking about, and you can go back and find videos where she's talking about that. But the community's different here, right, Connie? Come on.
And the people that I'm talking to and sharing that journey and it not being something that, is like, oh my gosh, I got to spend all this time on social media and have this strategy and sell all these things like that. That's just totally not something that I'm on board with or want to do.
And the majority of people who built in this company and who are the mega, top of the top, our sweet uplines, you guys that are just incredible when you get a part of this team, have done it off social media, 100% off social media, which is glorious to both of us, because I'm in a season where I'm not going to run my social media that way as well. I'm not going to be the network marketing girl, even though I love this and I have a direction for my social media of where that's going to go. And I'm going to share all the things I love in the midst of it. But I love that you can do that and still see success. And you could see a lot, you could still see a little. It's really up to you. But that was very intriguing to us, that it has been run majority of just word of mouth and off social media, which is...
Question for you guys. Didn't people within Monet, in her previous company, Monat, whatever, didn't they encourage people to do in-person hair wash sessions with the products? Like a hair washing party. Didn't they do that? That would be in-person building, and also would be considered word of mouth advertising, because these people probably were hoping, and based on my personal experience of doing parties when I was in my first couple of multi-level marketing companies, you're hoping that people bring other friends so that you can get into new crowds. So I don't know why she's trying to make it seem like this is different, unless maybe she wasn't doing parties because she probably had a very large team and didn't have to do that because she was getting a large chunk of her income, more than likely, from having a large downline. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I find that interesting that they try to villainize the previous thing to make the new thing sound like it is the end all be all. And it's like, but you probably on team trainings, I would venture to say, suggested that people do in-home parties. That's in-person building. So I don't know. I found that interesting.
Fabulous.
Great.
Okay, so my next journey, you guys, thank you, honey.
Okay.
Bye, love you. We're gonna get going here. We have to jump off, but obviously I'm very glowy.
Insert the olive tree people. That's what she's trying to promote here. But remember, she's like, I'm not going to do this on social media.
And I'm going to talk about both of these opportunities in my stories more. I'm going to move forward with this skincare brand that has blown my mind as well. I have watched for 6 months. I have used for 6 months. And what has happened there is, and what is going on there too, very much excites me. And that's where I'm also going to be focusing. Phil's kind of going to run this. And you guys, we don't know. We're going to take it day by day. But I know it's organically growing there. I know what the products have done for me. I'm obsessed with them and the joy and the community. And by the way, both of these companies, this is probably the biggest kicker. If you've ever done network marketing, this is what I'm going to end on. And you're writing it off, right? You're over it. You never want to build again. I said the same thing. I'm never going to build again. I'm focusing on my girls and my podcast. I'm not doing all that. I have had only conversations from the people who've messaged me in the past 5 days, and both of these, like my skincare one just took off. I've done literally pretty much nothing, especially on here. And that to me just goes to show something, you guys. You can do this because of who I have aligned myself with. And that matters. It just does. These are not people who've done this for their first time. These are all people who've been in this industry for many, many years. And so they're
Did she say the same thing about the previous company? Come on.
not on their first go around, and they know how to do things differently. And so when we talk about systems, holy Toledo, I have done literally nothing but plug people into an opportunity call here and an opportunity call there. And everything is done for you. The systems,
Notice she's not talking about the product here. No. She is like, listen, I haven't done anything. I've just plugged people into opportunity Zooms over here and over there. That's all about recruiting. I love how she's trying to make things seem so different while using the same language that she more than likely used while she was in the previous MLM. It's so different. The systems, the community, you guys, these are people that know what they're doing. Probably said the same thing about the previous company.
we say it's already a business in a box, I kid you not, I could not have better people to do this with that have created solid things for you to do. There's no you creating 1 million team pages, you're hosting 5 million Zooms a night. Ain't nobody doing that over here. I'm not doing that in this season of my life. You can do that. You can go do that and just blow the socks off this thing. You can literally blow the socks off both of these things, but you need to start asking questions. Don't sit around and watch everybody else's stuff and do the same thing, and you're going to talk yourself out of it because you're going to have the same objections I did. That's why you ask questions. And I have nothing to sell you. I have nothing. I don't need anybody from my previous company to join any of these businesses.
I'm sorry. You have nothing to sell people, but you're on here trying to sell them the opportunity for one of the new 2 companies that you're a part of, Olive Tree People and Lifewave. You have nothing to sell people? Is that because the products don't matter? Is that because it's really all about recruiting? Connie, do you hear yourself?
I'm going to do them very well on my own, naturally, organically, as proven. And so can you guys. I'm telling you, you have to ask questions though. So let's start with that. I'm pumped. I'm going to share some highlights on both of these in my stories later today. But man, you guys, it's rolling, and it's been rolling, and I'm like, now I got to pick it up because it's moving. I think, I can't even tell you the numbers. I don't think we're allowed to say, but you'll see in the next few days, just what's been happening. So I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. I'm just out here willing to be embarrassed if I need to be saying I'm doing 2 things. And
I mean, this is embarrassing, but not because you're doing 2 things. It's embarrassing because you're a part of 2 multi-level marketing companies, Lifewave and Olive Tree People. By the way, have y'all seen Savannah's deep dive on the Olive Tree People? I'll make sure that I put that in the video description. It is absolutely wild. I highly suggest it if you have not already watched it. And I'm sure that she has people that still follow her on her social media that recall her saying, you don't need to do multiple companies. And here she is doing multiple companies. So maybe that's what she's referring to, but I find it really interesting.
it doesn't matter. If that's where I know I'm called to be, I know what I need to do. God's going to bring the fruit. I don't have to stress about nothing. I'm having fun. It's going to be all right. You can step into it. You just take it one day at a time. But you also can't sit around and not ask the questions, or you're going to a little bit miss the boat, okay? A lot of it.
Oh, okay. So that's the high pressure tactic there. That's the FOMO. That's the, oh, you don't want to wait for 6 months like I did. You want to get in today. You want to get in now. That's what that was.
Love you. We'll talk soon.
Okay, but you don't love them unless they join your downline, in my opinion. That was a wild ride, wasn't it? What did y'all think about that? My favorite part was, and when I say favorite, obviously I'm being sarcastic. I think the worst part of that whole video was they talked about spirituality and their beliefs, and then they went into health claims. They talked about, putting these patches on their children and all kinds of stuff. And then, oh, I'm not going to be doing this on social media. Meanwhile, she's talking about, well, they're on a live, and then she's talking about putting things in her stories, which is promoting the MLMs on your social media and then plugging people into opportunity events. I'm like, this is not any different. You're trying to make it seem different. You're trying to make it seem like you're more relaxed by being in this season, but we all see what's going on. And also olive tree people and Lifewave. Come on. Anyways, if you loved today's video, feel free to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It is a free way for you to support my channel. I appreciate you guys so much, especially those of you that have watched the whole thing, commented, shared it, all of that stuff. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for people that have and continue to send information, not just to me, but to other content creators that are exposing how dangerous multi-level marketing companies can be. We appreciate you guys, and don't join an MLM. These two companies, Olive Tree People and Lifewave, are multi-level marketing companies. I feel like that's going to be their next evolution. We're not a multi-level marketing company. Okay, we know you are. Anyways, thanks for being here. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.